Some people think I might be gay, but I don't swing the other way. I just want to be a girl so damn much to feel my clit as it welcomes you all to the John's Jam Sessions podcast. I am your host, John. Back again is Mike.
Hello, welcome to my humble abode today.
It's a very special episode this week. We're recording all the way in Widnes.
Yeah.
This is the first. No, actually, I've recorded some in Liverpool, actually, but
Oh, yeah.
this is consider this the John's Jam Sessions podcast on tour.
Yeah.
And I know we usually end up saying this every week, but this episode I'm really, really looking forward to.
Oh, yeah.
Because this week we're delving into the not too distant past, back to our adolescence, would you say, back to our teen years. And we're looking back on ourselves with a bit of a judgmental eye this week. We're having a bit of a look back. So the theme of this week's episode is the worst music of our youth. And there's a bit of kind of talking into this because, like, some people. So what one prime example is, like, there's bands that you listen to all the time as a kid, and you kind of grow up and your music taste changes and you look back on it and you're like, oh, I don't really like listening to that anymore. Prime example for me is Nirvana. As a kid, absolutely obsessed. Kurt Cobain, like, complete obsession. Nowadays, I will never, like, go out my way to listen to Nirvana, but
Right.
do I think they're bad? Certainly not. So
No.
I had to dig deep into the recesses of the past and deep into the memories to find some really, really bad stinkers from back in the day that I would, back in the day, at a certain time, would say that I would have unironically listened to and enjoyed this music.
Yeah. Same, and that's the thing with. There's a lot of songs that, like you said, you could say, "Oh, I don't like that song. I've never liked that song," and all that. But there's certain songs that are just objectively bad, aren't there? And I think we've tried to dig deep into
Yeah.
the lost annals of time in our memory to try and find some songs that are just the worst of that time period.
I don't usually do this on the podcast, but I feel like it is necessary to just give a bit of a heads up on this one. That there is a lot of sexual themes in a lot of these songs.
Yeah.
This is certainly not appropriate for anyone under the age of 18. Even though a lot of these songs we were listening to under the age of 18. But that's our problem, that's for us to deal with. Some of these songs aren't very suitable for modern sensibilities. I think, to be honest, that's the reason why most of them are on there. So just that off the top, get ready, because some of these songs are not only bad in the sense of the music itself, but a lot of the lyrical content and themes are also very awful.
Yeah, the trigger warning is needed. Like I said, there's a lot of what would you call it?
I would definitely say there's some misogyny in there. I'd definitely
Yeah,
say there's some homophobia in there.
some trans issues on
Yeah,
there.
some trans issues, unfortunately, more than once.
Domestic abuse is touched on.
Domestic abuse is touched on.
So yeah,
It's all there. So let's bunker down and let's get into this playlist. So this playlist has been curated by myself and Mike, and we've had about 3 different people come in with some submissions. So the first 6 tracks are all from me. We're starting this with a band called Violent Delight from 2003. I Wish I Was a Girl. Who should start this?
well, I mean, we're starting off strong here, aren't we?
Yeah.
When I saw this song written down, I was like, "What on earth is that?" But as soon as I pressed play on it, I remembered this song. I remembered it. I had confined this song to the recycle bin at the back of my brain.
Yeah.
And when I put it on, I was like, oh no, not this. Not this thing.
Okay, so I think I need to give some background between this song and my pick. So, like, I honestly cannot remember the first time I ever heard this song. All I know is, like, it was either one mate or another mate. There was, like, it's 2 mates in my mind, and I can't kind of decide which one it was.
Yeah.
But they exposed me to this song, and this was the classic, like, kind of era where this is the classic era of when songs would just be, like, shared around on MSN Messenger
Yeah.
and kind of, like, downloaded off LimeWire, and, like, in a way, like, like the information and background behind these songs kind of got lost. So this was a song by a band that I'd never heard in my life, and I've never heard since.
No, no.
I actually did a bit of research into this band, and they did one album,
Yeah.
and that was it. They
Mm.
completely disappeared off the face of the earth. Yeah, so this song, I remember when I first heard it, I must have been about like what, early teens.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I was like, this is cracking. This is rude. This is naughty.
Yeah, yeah.
This is fun.
That's all you wanted, like to be rebellious at that age, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It's just like,
it was a complete rebellious kind of thing, wasn't it?
do you know what I've just said just before you move on? Do you know what this song reminds me of? And I think this is where I heard this song. Do you remember the website eBaum's World?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I'm
yeah, like the
sure.
Flash animations and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure this song was on a video on that website. I'm sure that's where I heard this song.
I think I probably would have put it on one of my own YouTube videos. You know, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if you heard it off one of them. I'll just go through the notes a little bit here. A one and done band. They dropped one album produced by Sex Pistols guitarist
Oh, well, that says everything,
and
doesn't it?
and completely bounced. As I say, I honestly can't recall the first time I heard this song. It was either one or two friends. I used to find it hilarious. I used to listen to it in on the MP3 player in the the crack of dawn
Yeah.
on my news when I did my paper
Yeah.
round as
Yeah.
a kid. Like I'd be there posting the papers through people's letterboxes. I wish I was a girl. Dun, 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 dun.
So I think stylistically we should just say it's like pop punk, isn't it? But with like
Yeah,
some screamed vocals pop up every now and again. So I guess you could call it screamo, like emo with screamed
there's
vocals.
definitely some screamo elements in it. And I
Yeah.
think it's a very, as you say, it's quite punky. It's kind of like the dawn of like emo was just about to like blow up at
Yeah.
this point, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It was just before kind of My Chemical Romance's Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge came out.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was before that just big massive explosion. And like although it is quite a punky track, they're all like them little, especially in like kind of like the vocalist's inflections and certain things that he
Yeah.
does. They're all them little emo-y kind of
Yeah.
things that kind of really started like taking off around that.
Yeah.
Like the song itself and the lyrical content. So basically, the song is, as you can imagine, the lead singer wishes that he was a girl so he could masturbate
Yeah.
and experience the pleasures of the female anatomy,
Mm.
basically. And listening to this song at such an early age, it was just like, I really didn't actually understand a lot of the content
Yeah.
in the lyrics and stuff like that. And it's just like a funny thing of like, we're all very conscious these days of kind of what we're exposing like kids to and stuff like that, especially with the internet and how easy it is to access stuff. And it's just funny because I was like 14 years old listening to this with like comments about like fucking,
Yeah.
like rubbing his clit and all that.
Mm. Smart. Yeah.
Very misogynistic. If I was a girl, I couldn't tell the difference between the clutch and the door. He'd get mood swings, and he'd have to shave, but he's not asked because he'd have massive tits.
Yeah.
Just a dreadful song all around, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just awful.
It's one of the most annoying songs on this entire list, and you'll see what I mean if you listen to it. It's just annoying. It's just like this little juvenile child. It's just talking at you, isn't it? It's just like, I don't know. I didn't re-listen to it. I will listen to it once, and I was like, I'm not listening to that again because that just wound me up. It's poor.
I've got to be honest. Like the nostalgia's too strong with this. I can't be too
Yeah.
harsh to it. Like it just gives me a wry smile of like, oh god, this again.
It knows what it is. It knows it's a stupid joke, piss take song, doesn't it? And I suppose you can give it some brownie points for that.
Part of me was thinking like, is this ironic? But at the same time, I was like, we were well before the time of like irony or
Yeah.
self-awareness at this point. This is truly being played like,
But-
quite seriously. Like,
But like I referenced Evorm's World before, and that was sort of like the first meme site, wasn't it?
yeah, like
That-
humor and stuff like that.
So that was before like 4chan and stuff like that. So maybe this was the maybe this was like a proto meme song.
Yeah, it is quite meme worthy. So all in all, would you delete it from history, or
Oh, yeah.
would you preserve it in the Cringe Museum?
Actually, I preserve it in the Cringe Museum because I think it is a very sort of like it's very of its time.
It's a time capsule, isn't it?
Like I said, it reminds me of something very specific. It reminds me of going on that stupid website as like a 12, 13-year-old and mucking about and watching daft videos. So it does, it does tickle the nostalgia thing in my brain a little bit. So let's preserve it, shall we, in the Museum of Cringe.
Yeah. So let's move on. Now, I think everyone in the world's heard this song, so it doesn't need too much explanation. Disturbed's Down with the Sickness from the year 2000. What a way to start the millennium, eh?
Yeah.
And like, oh boy, here we go. This song is a new metal 2000s alternative classic. It's Strangely Beloved, featured on the Dawn of the Dead remake film in the 2000s, and even being featured on a coming KFC advert. Watching the TV and it came on, I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
And that's very recent. Very, very recent, that, isn't it?
Yeah. This was another Exposed by Friends song. Like, this was always on, like, do you remember when we used to burn songs onto CDs?
Yeah.
And have like little mix CDs. I guess the generation before us would have had mixtapes, and nowadays it's playlists. This would always be on like, you know, a heavy metal like kind of mixtape, mix CD, mix playlist kind of thing. I remember like moshing to it in English class. I remember like fucking bouncing up and down on my seat. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Which I look back on in absolute embarrassment.
So I need to confess something on the podcast here right now.
Confess away.
I was the world's biggest Disturbed fan at the age of about 15, 16. Like, I loved this band. I remember Indestructible coming out and I was just so hyped. Like, I thought that was a 10 out of 10, that album. Like, you know, don't you, how much?
I know. I really liked them as well.
Yeah, but I loved them. I thought everything they ever did was amazing. Like, I only discovered them around the 10,000 Fists era, so I actually heard that album before I heard this song.
Yeah.
So I sort of went back to this song, and I did. I loved it as well, and I loved the album, The Sickness, but isn't that such an awful album when you look back on it? How bad...
It's dreadful.
It's aged terribly.
I own that album of vinyl, and it is bad. It is so shit. To be honest, I don't have a lot of defense for Disturbed.
No.
And as things have gone on into the modern age, I really don't have a lot of defense for Disturbed. They've gone from fucking car crash to car crash, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to say that I don't find the 10,000 Fists album too bad.
No, a lot of Disturbed stuff is just so bland and mediocre that you can't hate it. But this is
really when they steered more into just generic metal.
Yeah.
They shown their kind of strengths a lot more than the first album that was very new metal inspired.
I'd agree with that.
I think the first Disturbed song I ever heard was Just Stop. Yeah, and it was the first time I was actually exposed to YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Someone on MSN like made a video and shared it to me. I went, check out this video. It was like clips of fucking anime or whatever the fuck to the song.
Yeah.
And I was like, this sounds really good. Yeah. What's this website? So Disturbed are very deeply ingrained in my history. But dear God, David, what's his second name?
Draymond.
Oh, he's David a terror. Draymond. He's an absolute terror. Recently been signing bombs to in Israel. What on God's name is he planning? But the biggest cry for me with this song, well, there's lots really.
Let's start from the beginning of the song, right? Let's build up to the part that I know that you want to come to. So the first red flag in this song is the very, very start of the song and his little whispered vocals there. It's so creepy, isn't it? Just like, ugh. Yeah. And then building up the tension, and then the next major red flag is obviously the whatever that noise is. And we all thought that was so cool, didn't we, back in the day?
Yeah, that's what I mean in English class when that dropped. Fucking let's go.
That was like his little trademark thing, wasn't it? Like John Davis's scatting. Like that was his version of that.
It was, but unlike where John Davis embraced his scat, he got fed up a bit quick. Like I followed him on Twitter for years because he is just he is a case study. This man.
He's strange.
And he got to a point where like he was getting annoyed, and he was like, "Stop saying that means. I don't like that means."
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like the woo and I don't always. There was all these memes around them. A lot of them were the woo and he made this big rant on. I've done so much work that I can look back on and be proud of, and all you guys focus on is when I went woo once. And it's like so he's doing all these stupid noises and like Oh, I don't know, like I just look back at, like, as you say, when you loved them, I remember looking back going, this guy's such an amazing vocalist. Like, I can see the sickness is
I
rising.
unironically thought he was like an amazing, like generational talent, like vocalist.
Yeah, I thought it was like the next Bruce Dickinson, the next fucking Freddie Mercury. I was like, this dude is like, he blew. And to be honest, a lot later in their career, like when they did that cover of The Sound of Silence,
yeah,
and how like a lot of people look back on that now and like go, that is such like an
yeah,
abomination compared to the original. But like I
yeah.
remember people going like, wow, what an amazing vocalist! Oh my god,
Oh,
the
yeah.
sound of silence.
So cringe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so cringe. It just, there's so many like weird like things he does with the vocals, and he's like, no, the world is
Yeah.
like doing all this kind of weird squeaks and arcs and acts and all throughout it. But
Mm.
as soon as that breakdown starts, as soon as that down, 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 everybody dream. Where he's cheesing corn so badly, isn't he?
Oh,
Where he's doing that build up with John Davis, everybody dream. Like, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like he's the rage is like bubbling up inside him. And then, like, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to just read this out word for word, I'm afraid.
My God. Right. So basically, like this is, and I even remember when this started. When when I used to listen to this song, I remember thinking, even as a teenager, like I kind of wish this was just the single edited version, and this bit
Yeah.
just wasn't in it. So go on.
No, mummy, don't do it again. Don't do it again. I'll be a good boy. I'll be a good boy, I promise. No, mummy, don't hit me. Why did you hit me like that, mummy? Don't do it. You're hurting me. Why did you have to be such a bitch? Why don't you just fuck off and die? Why don't you just leave here and die? Never stick your hand in my face again, bitch. Fuck you. I don't need this shit. This is something that like Facebook mums put on Facebook, don't they? Like, I don't need all this. I fucking fucked a lot of you.
It so is.
You
It so is.
stupid, sadistic, abusive fucking whore.
Just goes on.
How would you? You know, it is like a Facebook rant, isn't it? It's like the typical Facebook rant.
Oh.
Rant over. How would you like to see how it feels, mommy? Here it comes. Get ready to die. Now, listen. Like, I don't want to come across like I'm mocking
No.
a sensitive issue, but this just feels so phoned in, so fake, so phony,
Yeah.
and so like this bit doesn't match any other part of the song, does it?
No.
Like,
No.
if you listen to the lyrics of the song, at no point does this subject come up.
No,
it's just
no,
this one bit in the middle. They've heard Corn. They've seen how like, you know, how groundbreaking the song Daddy was.
Yeah.
And they've tried to cheese it, and it just comes across so tasteless and, horrible and really bad. And the one thing I was like laughing to myself, going like the way he's like, "Mommy," it's like the sub dom thing with, "Oh no, mommy, not the hot candle wax, mommy, not the whip."
That's the thing. That's the weirdest thing about this whole monologue is that like it sounds like weirdly sexual in some parts,
doesn't it?
And I'm just like, and don't get me
He's
wrong,
calling his mum a
yeah,
cock-sucking, abusive fucking whore.
I'll be a good boy. but like we're not in any way, shape, or form laughing at the subject of domestic abuse.
No,
by the way, we are laughing at how badly this has been done because, like you said, tasteless is the correct word for it. It's so forced and edgy. It's like shock value for the sake of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's what I mean. It's just putting this in because it'll go, oh bloody hell, he's gone there.
Yeah.
Has he gone there?
Yeah,
Has he?
Songs like this are the reason why this genre was never taken seriously and why it died out so quickly as well. Like, this is the sort of stuff that you grow out of proper quickly, isn't it? Like,
it is.
It's everything bad about nu metal rolled into one, this song.
It is. Like, I don't think there is an edit of this song, is there?
Yeah.
Like, this is played on the single.
No, the single version.
Is this cut out, is it?
It is,
man, because I was going to say, like, how funny would it be, like, hearing this in the crazy house and then this part comes on.
I think when they play it, I think when they used to play it in the Crazy House, that version they did play the album version, but there was a music video. Yeah, the music video that does cut this section out completely, and I was like, oh,
could you imagine? Well, what on earth would they put in the music video for this bit? Like,
bloody hell!
I dread to think it sends shivers up my spine.
Yeah.
So, does this get deleted from history? or does it go in the cringe museum? For me, it's like when you walk into the Natural History Museum and you see the big like Brontosaurus thing on full display. This needs to be on full display in the cringe museum. Like this needs to be behind like a glass container. Don't make sure the just stop oil people don't throw paint on it. Like this needs protecting and preserved because this is a historic relic. This song.
No, I agree. It has to be. It has to be preserved in the Cringe Museum because it's so iconic in all the wrong ways. Like we've got to remember things like this as like a sort of barometer. When we're comparing things quality wise, we've got to remember where the bottom of the barrel is, and it's here.
Brilliant. Next, the Pussycat Dolls. Beep from 2005. Okay, so there is a story behind this. So back in about 2008, me and a group of us went out to Liverpool to go clubbing. Now it's the first time I ever went out clubbing, quote unquote. And all of us, the whole group of us, we were all underage. There was only one place that one person knew, like, oh, you won't get ID there, you'll be all right. That place happened to be called a gay club called Heaven. So we go into Heaven, and to be honest, my memory is a bit hazy, but the part I remember as if it was yesterday. I can close my eyes and I'm there again. So we're in Heaven, and this song comes on, the Pussycat Dolls Beep. And for anyone who hasn't heard the Pussycat Dolls Beep, it's kind of like, it's very like tongue-in-cheek and very cheeky. So it's like, the lyrics like, I don't mind if you're looking at my while you're staring at my and you're licking my beep. Like, it's very cheeky, it's very naughty. It's like, we all know what you're saying, but you're not actually saying it. And there's like this cute little like part in the song. So the DJ puts this song on, and every time the beep comes into it, he mutes the song, pretty much stops it altogether, gets his mic, and just goes cock. So it's like, I don't mind if you're looking at my cock while you're staring at my balls, while you're smacking my tits. Me and my friend just thought it was the most funniest thing ever. Like we were absolutely like cracking up. Like it felt like it went on forever. Yeah. Like it's quite a lengthy song anyway, isn't it? And it felt like it went on forever, and like it went on and on and on.
That's very funny.
And I remember when we were leaving the club, I stepped outside and felt something like hard go up my upper thigh, and just kind of squeeze my butt cheek a bit. I turn around and it's the DJ who was a drag queen, and she had a high heeled shoe on, and she's like, "Oh, it wasn't me."
Oh my god!
The song itself. I mean, like this memory. I think this pops up my head at least once every 2 weeks. Like this will be with me till the day I die. Like when your whole memory flashes back before you die, this will come up. The song itself is a bog standard 2000 pop song. will.i.am features strongly, and he's like, I don't mind if you're looking at me, or you're looking at that. Right. This was kind of before he really went off the rails with the fucking lazy songwriting and production.
I mean,
I feel like he's still making somewhat of an effort here.
Do you think?
Compared to a few years time, he's putting a song out called The.
Yeah, I despise. I mean, listen, I'm sure he's a nice guy, right? As an artist, as a cultural figure, I just find him insufferable. will.i.am. I don't think he's ever contributed anything positive to the world of music. Like even that early Black Eyed Peas stuff that's sort of been rewritten as like good, which isn't as bad as some of his later stuff, but even that stuff will benefit from him just being removed from the situation, just taken out entirely. I think he's one of the most soulless, lazy, you've hit the nail on the head, lazy songwriters and artists in music history. I think he's an absolute fraud. Go on, carry on.
Yes. That's pretty much all I've got to say. I can't disagree with this.
I don't have a lot to say about this song because I never actually enjoyed it. I remember it.
After this event, after we got home and that, we got on the song and I would actually listen to it just to reminisce and think back to that memory. Oh, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
It was just so funny. Oh god, it cracked me up. Does this be deleted from history or preserved in the Cringe Museum?
I think it's too bland to be preserved. I wouldn't mind just throwing this song in the bin, but I know you've got a very nostalgic
Like,
reason to preserve it.
the song itself, like the actual song itself, is like it's got nothing to say for itself as a
No.
generic pop song. I do think it's a bit cute and cheeky. Like I
Mm.
prefer the kind of innuendo-y kind of thing to just straight up like your modern day Cardi B's who's just going on about a big
Yeah,
fat wet pussy and that.
I
Like
agree.
like I like that it's reserved, and I like that it's like it's doing this cute thing with the beep and that. But yeah, toss it in the bin. Like you can't have that next to Down with the Sickness, can you?
No, no, no. Doesn't hit the same, does it?
Yeah, the next one, I've just got to put my hands, like me head, my hands here. Freeze Pop, Duct Tape My Heart from 2004, a song from the MySpace landfill. This song, what was like, my mate got me onto it, and I found it cute and cheeky at the time. It's the typical quirky emo shite. I poke badgers with spoons. Lol XD raw means I love you, dinosaur. Normal people scare me song, it's cringe. And for an electro pop song, it really just doesn't have any flow or bop to it at all.
No.
It's just completely naff. But I think what I did is I would listen to this to try and impress cringy emo girls back in the
Yeah.
day.
See, the emo thing I didn't really get from this song. This was the first time I'd ever listened to this. I'd never heard of it in my life.
This was when emo was getting like it was starting to rot. The
Yeah.
rock was coming in now from the ground up, and this is where scene was starting to take over.
Yeah, yeah.
The bright, colourful, more kind of poppy thing. I mean, there's probably not a lot of people listening to this that have ever heard this song
No.
because it is a real hidden gem.
Yeah. If you want to call it a
I
jam,
know,
yeah.
a hidden piece of shit in
I
the
mean,
in the grass.
I found it quite funny to listen. I was laughing listening to it because it was just so confusing to
It's
me.
comical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like it's almost accidentally experimental.
So it's
Like it's nearly accidentally IDM. I'm like, and like the vocals are so the auto tune vocals are just so flat and
yeah,
robotic.
it's absolutely the auto tunes turn right up to like the
Yeah,
typical robot voice in it,
but there
and
is
it's the
no.
monotone singing like
That's the thing. There's auto tune, but there is no tune. So it's like the auto tune just sounds so like sounds like a sat nav voice
yeah.
speaking to you. You know, like the sat nav when it speaks to you tells you to turn left,
Yeah.
make a U turn. It just sounds like that singing at you. Like yeah, the little bleeps and bloops. They're just so relentless. They just keep going, like they don't stop. It's so intrusive. Yeah, I don't know where you discovered this song. I have no recollection of it
There
whatsoever.
was a few freeze pop songs that they could have picked, but I remember this one being like the most randomest, the most out there, the most kind of naff.
Yeah,
I think they had a little bit of time in this. So there was a certain demographic that enjoyed songs like this,
right.
and as I say, we all know who it was. It was the people with the Nightmare Before Christmas hoodie.
Yeah,
It was the people with the glittery explosive MySpace page that
yeah,
set your desktop steaming.
yeah,
It was people who watched the Mighty Boosh.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's a quirky little song, this little love story about this girl meets a guy in a band, and then they're walking home together. She's got a hole in her shoe. You get some duct tape,
Yeah.
fixes it up, good as new.
I can imagine this song being on. Do you remember Salad Fingers or Burnt Face Man? Do you
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Do you remember that? I could imagine this
yeah,
being a song on one of them videos and just like, oh, random lols.
yeah. It is. It's very David Firth coded, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
So for me, throw in the bin. You know what I mean? This song just didn't need to happen or
I
ever
agree. Yeah,
exist really.
yeah, definitely been.
We're going for quite a genre change here. So we're going with, and I wanted to throw this in because I wanted to, at least put a band that I say that I like on,
Yeah, yeah.
and give them a bit of grief. And it's Iron Maiden's the Angel and the Gambler from 1998.
Hmm.
Oh, fucking hell. Right. I wanted to be fair. I wanted to throw a band of love under the bus. I had no idea why I liked the song, but I have to say it was always the music video on YouTube I'd watch.
Yeah.
It's so cute and cheeky. It's like really bad, tacky 90s CGI. Steve Harris and the band
Oh,
in a casino.
do you know what? I've just remembered the video.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. Yes, I've remembered the video
And there's
now.
like a really knack CGI Eddie running around causing mischief.
Oh my god, yes. I remember it in the casino.
The YouTube video was half the length of the album track. The long length is completely unexcusable for this song.
So this is a Blaze era Maiden track. So you
Yeah.
know that it's not only is it going to be drab, boring, phoned in, heavy metal, but it's also going to be some ridiculous godforsaken length as well. Why is this 10 minutes long? It's not prog. Like there's not. It's just unnecessarily long. Why is it? Why were all Maiden tracks from this era so long?
This, I know, yeah. Like for me, like the analogy I've put for this is a track and imagine our parents dancing to at a 40th birthday party, like
Well,
back in
yeah,
the
I
day.
suppose.
Like this is such a deep purple coded. This is such like an old classic rock,
Yeah.
like Dio or something like that. And I don't want to like slag them off, but
Oh,
I expect better from a band
yeah.
of the caliber of like Iron Maiden.
I think you're doing Dio a
So-
bit of a disservice, but I know exactly what you mean.
A roll of the dice, a spin of the wheel.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so fucking bad, and then you've got the really cheap synths in it.
How annoying! What an annoying addition to the song.
And the little.
Oh, it's terrible, isn't it?
It is fucking god awful.
Blaze's vocals, man. Like he brings his trademark style, doesn't he? That sluggish monotone mid range, which is just devoid of energy.
He sounds like he's 60 years old.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he
like
sounds
back
so
when he
old.
was like 38.
He sounds finished, doesn't he?
He does. He sounds cooked, as the younger generation would say. He sounds washed.
Yeah.
We're gonna do Maiden next year, and it's gonna be a fucking magnum opus. So we'll get into all this. So see this as a bit of a teaser, but we are not the defenders of the Blaze era. And neither of us are defenders of the Blaze era. This can go right in the fucking bin. This is naff and shit.
I agree, bin all day long.
The next song, and to be honest, I think you know that this was always going to come up at some point.
Yeah.
This was unavoidable. So we've got Nelly Furtado's Man Eater, 2006. And before we go into it, why do you think I picked this song?
Because we have some history with this song.
We have some history with this song. So let's go back. We've always been into our content creation, haven't we?
Yeah.
And back in the day, we used to make YouTube videos, and most of the time we'd stick to crude paint animations using Microsoft Paint, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
With little soundtracks behind them and stuff like that. But we wanted to leap out a bit and kind of put our faces out there to the world, and we wanted to showcase our musical talents. So this is going back to the Korn episodes. This is deep into the Korn obsession. This is just where if it wasn't Korn related or John Davis related, I didn't want to know. And this is when I thought, I could be the next John Davis. I'd studied all his moves. I'd studied all his vocal techniques, and I was like, this is it. I can pull off a John Davis here.
You grew your hair down like him as well.
Grew my hair down like him. It just fully kitted out. So this song, I mean, the origins of me in this song, I don't know how far they go back. I think it was just always a song that I always like, that you'd hear it on the radio, and I was like, I quite like this. It's like, to be fair, it is a little bit of a bop, to be fair. Like, she's a man that makes you work hard.
I still think that the chorus kind of goes hard,
Yeah.
I don't think it's terrible. I think the verses are a little bit stupid and annoying. They've got a synth that is just so loud that just keeps blurring.
Yeah. But I think the breakdown and the outro at the end really goes hard.
Yeah,
It's like
Timbaland coming up.
Yeah, so you had your BC Rich guitar.
Yeah. Warlock.
I was on your little swivel chair. We had the webcam set up. And the best part about this is we did this when people were in the house. Because originally, the original cut got disturbed by your dad. Can you imagine what was going on in his head when he could just hear from upstairs, dun, dun, and me going, money that makes you work hard, makes you work hard.
With the John Davis scatting in the middle, do you remember?
Yeah.
When I tried to do a little improvised solo, and you were just over the background, just scatting over the top of it. And I wish I didn't delete. I deleted that video off YouTube out of shame, but
I'm glad you did,
Yeah.
because we recorded it, we put it up.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever received as much abuse in my life as I did for that video. Like, the comments were so harsh and horrible towards me, where they're like, I just got absolutely fucking annihilated. And the problem was we were little shits back then, weren't we?
Yeah.
We liked to kind of troll, and we had little wars going on, especially with one person in particular.
Let's not name any names, but yeah.
Anti-Anic Metal Club. We used to terrorise the fuck out of him, didn't we? And
But not only that, but I made a point of creating a war with Bring Me the Horizon fans because I despised them. And we had the Bring Me the Horizon fans in the comments of that video, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I've got to say that they were probably correct in the end.
They just went to town. We just got to, well, when you say we, it was mainly aimed at myself.
Yeah, I mean, I was just in the background with my guitar on.
Yeah.
The overdrive turned all the way up.
I remember it having too many.
It got a lot. It did get a lot, yeah.
I remember it having like a few thousand at least, which was really bad. And you look at it now, like look at memes and look at like viral videos and stuff like that. Like that could have gone much worse.
Yeah. Nowadays, we wouldn't have been able to escape.
I remember putting it on to my ex in about 2012. Yeah. Look what we did when we were younger. And she showed it to fucking everyone and all that. And then and I don't think it was long after that you must have just got to your common senses and went, I need to scrub this off the internet. And I was very grateful that that happened. Yeah. But yeah, imagine this song, Nelly Furtado's Man Eater, being played somewhat fairly incompetently on a BC Ricks guitar.
Incompetent.
And being sung in the style, well, someone trying to do the style of John Davis with the harsh vocals and the scat and the freaking out and all that. And while this, and by the way, like we couldn't like rip the instrumental off or mix it properly or anything like that. The song was just playing off the YouTube video while we were singing over it.
Yeah. So you still had the synths going, but you had that mixed with my overly distorted chug. It was a mess, wasn't it?
Yeah,
unholy mess. In a way, I kind of wish we deleted that video off the internet, but kept a copy of it.
Had a copy of it. Yeah.
But oh wow! But the song itself, can I make a confession? Like I said, I think still think that the chorus goes kind of hard. Don't think it's terrible. The verses have annoying elements to them, definitely, but I don't. I wouldn't call this song a terrible song personally.
It's my karaoke song. Like it's remained. It's such an in-joke between me and my friends and all that.
Yeah.
I think the last time I did it was we went out and I was pissed. I was so drunk and we went in this place that was just full of like pensioners basically. all singing stuff like, a bit of Barry Manilow and doing all having a lovely time singing a bit of like, oh, my love, my darling, and I just went, Nelly Furtado, Man Eater on a piece of paper, handed it to the bloody DJ. It comes on. I'm pissed. I'm changing the lyrics. I'm swearing. I'm being horrible. I'm being disrespectful. And like just the atmosphere, the whole place, just like it was just like it got filmed, and all the old people had just stood there like. Yeah. Just miserable. The whole night that they've been looking forward to, just ruined in tatters and ash from me being a horrible bastard. But for this reason, this song's got to go in the Cringe Museum.
Yeah,
it's
personal reasons.
Right, this is the first song that really angered me. This one now. It's really frustrated the hell out of me, this song.
This is the first of my picks.
Yeah, I've got to say now, we're into your picks now. So this is Cold Chamber, featuring none other than Ozzy Osbourne. And this is a cover of Peter Gabriel's Shock the Monkey from 1999. Now we're in your picks. Do you want to set these songs up and I'll give my thoughts on these?
Yeah, basically. Had you heard this song before? The original?
The original, Peter Gabriel's Shock the Monkey. Absolutely love it. Yeah. One of my favourite songs. It's so interesting. It's so unique. Peter Gabriel, like the vocal performance, everything about the song, I love it to death.
Yeah.
I had heard this song before, but not in full. I'd never given it full listen.
Yeah.
Didn't know fucking Ozzy Osbourne must have not liked it. Man, this makes me so angry. It's really pissed me off. Like,
so my mindset as a teenager was that this sort of stuff, new metal bands covering new wave songs, was so cool. Like, I love the idea of these metal bands. It was
trend, wasn't it?
Yeah. These new metal bands were obsessed with the idea of covering new wave songs. Like, Disturbed did it several times, didn't they?
Yeah.
You had this.
You had Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. He did Tainted Love.
Covered Blue Monday.
Yeah, so it was happening regularly, and I just thought it was like, these metal bands are crossing over into the pop world. I had it in my head that me listening to this was me broadening my horizons of music and crossing over and being like, oh, look, see, I listen to all sorts of stuff. I listen to Shock the Monkey. Yeah, I listen to Shock the Monkey by Coal Chamber featuring Ozzy Osbourne. Why? What's Ozzy doing? Why did he agree to this?
He is so tapped out in this. This was 1999, wasn't it? So this wasn't full like Osbourne's Ozzy yet, but it was only a few years off. But you can tell that he's just not with it.
No,
on this record. Monkey. It's so bad. It's such a disgrace and dishonour to Peter Gabriel's legacy.
Don't you monkey with the monkey?
The whole song is just a clunky, disjointed mess.
It's crap, isn't it?
God knows what was the mindset behind this song. This is not a song that you can just easily do because it's, as I say, such a unique, interesting song.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to cover a song, cover like Depeche Mode's "Can't Get Enough," or cover something that cover Aha's "Take on Me."
Yeah.
Like generic, normal song. Like this is like quirky and interesting. And you know, it's not like like the way it's sang and the singer itself, and it's just like this song is just, you've got the Coal Chamber guy, don't know who he is, no interest in finding out.
No.
I'm like, cover me when I run.
It's all
and then you got when a monkey out the tree.
Do you know what?
My knees.
Do you know what the main difference between this and the original is? Like Peter Gabriel's songs are full of so much personality, aren't they? And so much character. All of the character has been stripped away in this version. You've got some nondescript fella just going, cover me.
And just the guitar, dun, dun, dun,
dun. And then you've got Ozzy coming in, trying his best to not sound like Ozzy. I don't know how to put it, but like you said, Ozzy's got such a passionate voice, hasn't he? You know, when you listen to him in Black Sabbath and you listen to him on his own stuff,
Ozzy Osbourne works best when he's under discipline and he's singing his own songs, Paranoid, like War Pigs, fucking NIB. Just pretty much the first couple of Black Sabbath albums, just absolute masterclass.
Yeah.
Like he was a very big inspiration on kind of like my vocal style when I sang and sat and split in a way. But
it's like you said, his heart
can't pull off.
His heart's not in this though, is it?
Yeah. He's in it for the. Sharon's got him on it, and she's like, "See this chamber."
Let me just say that
the Bear Thief.
Let me just say that Coal Chamber were an awful band in general. Like their first album is the biggest and most blatant Korn ripoff I have ever heard. If you've never listened to the first Coal Chamber album, just go and listen to one song off it, and you'll be like, it will make you actually angry. Because
I know any other Coal Chamber songs.
For some reason, I had a little phase where I was deep into my Korn thing, and I was like, oh, this band sounds exactly like Korn.
Yeah.
So therefore, I like them. This song's crap. I would not preserve this song.
No, it's going in the bin.
It's got to go in the bin. It's got to be flushed down the toilet. It's got to be disposed of.
It is dreadful. Awful.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we go to a rap god legend, Eminem. We've spoken about Eminem before, and we get into the song fact from 2005. You picked this song. Please explain your choice.
So I'll start by saying this. I think that this could be the worst song ever. Genuinely.
No, that's coming up later.
Well, yeah, but I honestly think that this is just Eminem's brain was completely fried at this point in his career. Like, he had fully lost the plot. I can't believe someone let him into a recording studio and someone else took part in the process of
Dr. Dre, most likely.
Yeah, releasing this. I think they should have just locked the studio doors and bagged him up in a straitjacket and sent him off to the asylum.
Yeah.
The very first thing you notice when you hit play on this song is this godforsaken, stupid Eric Cartman voice. Well, he keeps this up for the entire song, by the way.
Talking about, like, inappropriate, like, Eric Cartman as a 10-year-old, and I know South Park is very crude, like, naughty humour and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever gone, like, that far with the characters, or, like, because the subject matter in this song is just...
But, like, it's just, like, how old was Eminem when this song came out? He was in his 30s, was he? In his 40s? And I know
he was probably early 30s.
I know he was
most likely coming up to 40, maybe. I don't know.
I know this was his career low point in terms of he was off his face on drugs, wasn't he? Like,
this was especially for the Greatest Hits album as well.
It was the first track on the Greatest Hits album.
I never seen no pics like this. Twist like a damn contortionist.
Oh my word. Honestly, about a minute into the song, he basically just gives up on the whole rapping thing and he just starts making random noises and going.
So the song, like, let's talk about what the song is actually about. So it's about a character, this Eric Cartman Eminem hybrid character, and he's having some hot sex with a porn star that looks like Jenna. Doesn't know what abortion is, so he can't come in it. and he ejaculates. He completes his mission, and then he's about to go down on her, and he sees that she's shaved, and he comes again, and then he's like, right, I've come twice now, I'm not going to come again, and then she slides her finger up, and then that sets him off, and then it all escalates.
2 minutes.
He gets a tube, gets a gerbil, goes up himself. What else is there to say?
I mean, like you said, 2 minutes into the song is where it enters the dark territory, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets from crude silly to really kind of dark, and it's like, oh, you went there, did you? You went there, did you?
This is where I start to think that Eminem just needs help. Like, the content of this part of the song is Eminem inserting a tube into his rectal cavity, then allowing a gerbil to run through said tube into said rectal cavity, and this is the rest of the song. This is just
and it gets stuck up there as well. He can't get it out.
But also, yeah, it gets stuck up there and it's nibbling away, but he kind of likes it, and then he's coming again. I swear to God, right? And he's not even rapping at this point. He's not rhyming words at this point. He's just saying, "Oh my God, that feels so good. Oh my God, I'm coming." I'm like, genuinely, he's literally just put the rapping thing away and just gone. He's just lost his mind.
The bit that tickles me in this song is when he goes into his normal voice and he just starts going, "Oh yeah, baby, you see, they call me Mr. Freaky."
But at the end, then at the end, he's trying to sing. He's trying to sing a melody, but he's just going, "Shove a gerbil in your ass through a tube," and that's the rest of the song. And I'm just like, oh my God. If you have not listened to this song, go and listen to this song and then come back and try and give me an example of a worse song. I dare you. And I dare any Eminem fans that are giving me grief over my thoughts on the new Eminem album to defend this song. Because if you defend this song, then you are, I can't think of a word to describe it, to be honest. You are a maniac. If you try and defend this song in any way, shape or form, you are as insane as Eminem was when he decided to record this. So blood boils when I listen to this song. Like every time I listen to it, I just get angrier and angrier. I remember listening to this as a teenager and just not even been fazed by it because I went through quite a big Eminem phase.
Yeah, and I did as well. I was a lot older when I first stumbled across this song, and I did find it somewhat a bit funny. I was like, "Oh, this is funny."
It's like,
I remember them. There's a quick story. I remember them. Me mum was like putting Eminem on in the car, but like the stuff she was putting on was like cleaning out the closet and Stan and stuff like that. And I'm like, "Mum, check out Funk Fack."
No.
And she was like, "What's it called?" And I was like, "Fack, Fack." And she put it on, and there was just silence in the cars. The whole song came on, and she was like. I think she was turning the fucking and she just kind of went, I shook her head.
Oh, fuck. How did I not notice how terrible this song was? How did I not notice that this stood out in his discography? I don't know, but oh God, makes me feel filthy. Makes me feel dirty listening to this song.
So does it not deserve a spot in the cringe museum?
No,
I think it does because I think people need to know like that this was a low point.
Well,
especially when you say about how much people ride Eminem, and say he's the GOAT and he's the greatest of all time. Like this needs to be brought on. Going, no, hang on, this is the man that came out with this.
In the same way that Down with the Sickness should be preserved as like this is where the bar was.
Yeah,
I agree, and I put it in that bracket as in like this is how bad music can get.
Speaking of how bad music can get, the next song that you've picked is Metallica. The Memory Remains from 1997.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So I was originally going to pick something off Saint Anger for this list, but then I remembered that I never liked that album because it's god awful. Then I was going to pick Fuel for this list. So I went, I'll go and listen to Fuel just to double check that it's as bad as I think it is.
Yeah.
And I saw on the track list that this was the next song on the album, and I went, oh God, that song, is that song as bad as I think it is? So I re-listened to it, and it is as bad. It's arguably worse than I remember it being. Like, this song is trash, isn't it?
Oh god, I'm gonna stick to my notes because I feel like I just trail off into 1,000 different criticisms about this band.
I have got just some things to say about Load and just before you start reading your notes about this
you
song.
know the Metallica history a bit more than I do, so
Yeah, so Load and Reload era Metallica in general is everything I hate about the music industry, like capitalism and corporatism at the expense of artistic integrity. Like this sound that they decided to embark on at this point in their career was not a natural progression from what they were doing in the 80s or even what they were doing on the Black Album. This is just a complete and utter hash grab, a complete and utter sellout, like the most blatant sellout I can think of in music.
Is this what came straight after the Black Album?
Yeah.
Or was Injustice for All after the Black Album?
No, Load came after the Black Album. Black Album was 1991.
That's a dip, isn't it?
So can you believe like can you imagine the fans' reaction, like, because I've seen some quotes from James Hetfield around this time as well, and he basically confirms that half of the band just went along with what Lars and Kirk wanted to do. So there was the infighting that started. Obviously, there's some people point to there's some kind of monster, and they say,
I love that documentary.
yeah, and the Saint Anger era as like where the band, like, they just hated each other, and I can see why they hated each other because you can tell that the hearts are not in these two albums. Like they don't want to be making this music; they are literally doing it to try and hit upon the biggest crossover appeal possible, just to try and to sell out to make money, and that is it. So I think these albums for me, in a way, are worse than Saint Anger, even though Saint Anger is objectively worse musically. What these albums represent to me is worse than anything else that this band have ever done. Like, oh god, let's get onto this song. Let's get onto this song.
So, yay, Metallica, Joy. I remember liking this song and my mate loved it, so it got a fair bit of airplay. And we used to watch the music video in 140p resolution off YouTube. Yeah, this is garbage. Like, this is everything people mock the band for, really.
Yeah.
James hamming it up with the like, which before this, like, you weren't as bad.
No.
Like, this just everything's got to have to at the end of it, you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is? He sounds smug, doesn't he? He sounds so smug with his sunglasses on and his short back and sides, and he's like going right up to the camera. Fortune feared, mirror vein.
It's a fate to believe. I mean, syllables onto words and stuff like that.
I mean, why drag a great song's name into the mix?
I really noticed about this song, and it's not something in songs I usually notice, is the drumming, which I'm not super clued up on drums, but I can tell that the drums are bad on this. There's no flow.
Effortless.
There's no groove. It's clunky. The song feels like it's being played at half speed. It's really slow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, just everything feels like it needs to be sped up, especially from a fucking thrash band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It feels like it's being played way too slow.
Yeah.
And, like, I know that you're probably itching to get to this bit, but with the old lady na bit, the drums on that, like, are so bizarre because it's like you'd think you'd want like a marching beat or something to that, and he's like, listen to the drums on that bit. There's like drum fills and just clunky, like it's just all over the shop. It's like when you're jamming with a drummer and you don't know the song and they're trying to just get the feel for it and they're trying to like just carry it on without, you know, fucking up the whole thing. It feels like that. It's so weird.
It is weird, isn't it? But like I said, what pushes this song over the edge is that feature that you just referenced then.
Yeah.
Marianne Faithfull, who is none other than Mick Jagger's ex-wife. She was married to Mick Jagger 4 years between 1966 and 1970, and that's basically how she's known. She had a bit of crossover into the music world, but never did anything noteworthy. So I want to know who the person in Metallica was that decided that after recording this track, they said, "Hey, do you know what this song needs? This song needs Mick Jagger's ex-wife to turn up on the bridge and just start going da 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 with the cracking voice,
the cracks and stuff. That's it, yeah. So like
Marianne Faithfull,
I'm listening to this and I'm like, I think the biggest crime about this song is like, I'm no producer, I know very little about production, but I feel like if I was in the studio at the time and this song was presented to me, I'd be like, right, you need to fix that, you need to speed up there, Lars is drumming, you need to retake the drums, that drum take is no good. And with the na 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 bit, like as you say, it's the weird like na 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 na.
Do you know what it is, right?
I think that could work in the song if it was like if there was some kind of effect over it, make it echoey, make it sound like ghostly or something like that. And if it was like
it's so
if you got like a woman who has got that age in her voice but is also a competent and good singer, like I don't know, like fucking Stevie Nicks. I'm sure Metallica could have got Stevie Nicks in on a feature,
but also like
you've got that iconic voice that I could do in the na 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 na.
But like Googled this woman, right, and she's 77 years old now.
It sounds like she's 80 when she's doing that. So it must have been deliberate. It must have been a deliberate choice.
She was 50 when she was on that song.
Must have been like, we need some older woman, yes, to do a na na na.
She was 50 years old on this song, and I'm thinking, why do you sound like you are literally 100 years old? Why do you sound like you're on death's door?
It's clearly intentional, but it's just, as I say, like
it's terrible.
Anyone else would have done a better job of that. Anyone else would have done a better job of that. And like, I think one day we really need to sink our teeth into Metallica. But for me, it's stuff like this that just. This is the band that I had a little spell with. I got into. I got a few albums. And I think by, as you say, the load reload point, I was listening to it and I was like, what is this shite? You know what I mean? And then it quickly like dawned on me of like, this band isn't very good at all, is it? But this is a band that sell out fucking stadiums and, they've played to some of the biggest crowds on earth. And I do scratch my head and like, what? Is this a psyop?
They are very lucky. They are very lucky that their fans were so loyal and cult-like, and the fact that they stuck with them through this period. Because this period, not only were they releasing bad music, but they were displaying a blatant disregard for their own fan base.
They never stopped making bad music. Like,
that's what I mean.
They never improved.
The fact that their fans are still with them now. 30, 40 years on from their golden era, with very little reward in the meantime, is like, I don't know whether them fans are clinically insane or whether, they're just incredible ride or die hardcore.
I've been good friends with people who are very strong Metallica fans. I knew a guy who thought Saint Anger kicked ass.
Oh, wow.
I like, honest to God, and like nothing you could say to them, nothing, you could not discourage them from loving this band and loving everything about them. For me, they're just a band that, like, as you said, I think they just kind of stumbled into the position they're in. And it's like, no matter what crimes they commit against music, they seem to still thrive and survive in this world. It's like,
it's crazy.
Load and Reload should have shot you down them festival lineups like faster than fucking. You know what I mean? Like, if it weren't for that, then fucking Saint Anger should have had you abolished from the fucking universe of music.
Yeah.
That is record label fucking cutting point, that, isn't it?
Yeah, Saint Anger, yeah.
Collabing with Lou Reed and producing that absolute abomination of music. Yeah, recently, as not the last download, but the download before, when they did a special 4-day event, they filled 2 of them days. They haven't got 2 days of material that is worth a piss. Like, I need to stop because this will do me no favours in my podcasting career.
Yeah.
But I just think this band is shit. Like, I fucking hate them.
I have a lot of time for the 80s material.
I don't.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough.
Fuck them.
That's opinions. I mean, I think the
fuck Master the Puppets.
So yeah, again, that is where I draw the line. This album and the album that came before it, Load, they're a disgrace in my opinion. Like they're a disgrace for what they did to the fans, and they're very, very lucky that the fans stuck with them through this period, because this was just so disrespectful in my opinion to go down this road so blatantly. Basically, it feels like they're mocking their own fans. It feels like, when he's doing the Fade to Black, and he's bringing Fade to Black. He's bringing a song off Ride the Lightning into this god awful piece of garbage, This Memory Remains, and it's like, Who asked for you to bring Fade to Black? Didn't deserve this. It didn't deserve to be mentioned in this crap song. Like, are you taking the piss?
Yeah, because that's a song off. Yeah, that's a previous song, isn't it?
Are you taking the piss out of? Is it off? What's it called? Is it off the Black Album?
I can't even fucking.
No, I'm sure it's off Ride the Lightning. But either way, it's like, why are you taking the piss deliberately? Are you trying to wind the fans up by mentioning that song in this song?
I'm going to redeem myself to the Metallica fans, and if you're a Metallica fan, then by the way, God bless you. You know, Godspeed to you, because you clearly see something in this band that I don't. I'm going to give a very like, you know that I'm my heart's in the right place when I do this, because I don't like. So the version of this song I would listen to as a kid was not the studio; it was the live version with the orchestra. You know, the S&M concert.
Yeah.
And I thought, as much as I didn't want to, I thought I'll do a bit of extra research on this, and I went back and I listened to the live version. I tell you what, it's an improvement.
Yeah.
The na 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 bit is done by the crowd, and with kind of like the orchestra back in it, and it does sound. I think it's being played a bit faster as well.
Yeah.
And Lars, probably because he's not the most confident of drummers, isn't trying to show off as much. He's just literally playing it how it should be played.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded light years above this version, so I don't feel as bad as I do that I did listen to it.
Yeah,
it's like I do now, because I listened to that on the playlist, and I was like, how did I ever think this was good?
Same. That's what I had. That's the reaction I had to it as well. How did I ever enjoy this? Because I did. I picked this song because I did enjoy it bizarrely. So
right. So if I didn't get a bit hot and flustered there, then this next fucking song's gonna do it. Fuck me.
I'm just gonna nip just quickly. Just got to nip for at half time.
All right. Well, while Mike's having a piss break, I'm just going to keep this flowing and just get into me notes, and then he can waffle on why in hell's fucking name he decided to pick this song or enjoyed it as a kid. Some songs in here bothered me, but each of them had something I could chuckle at. Like, there was something a bit funny about them, like the Metallica, the na 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 na. Not this. This is horrible. Oh, I didn't even say the fucking name first. So this is Goldie Looking Chain, Your Mother's Got a Penis from 2004, right? This is horrible. I hate this with every fibre of my being. It was a jump scare. I thought my premium on Spotify had bounced back. I thought an ad had started playing, because like he's like, now listen up guys, here we go. I was like, what the fuck is this, like an ad for car insurance or something? This is dreadful, crude, unfunny shite. I've never found this type of humour even remotely funny at all. This is a disaster. I genuinely fear that this could be the first thing that aliens or life outside this planet could hear, and that pushes them to destroy this planet. This is like the typical mobile phone stupid songs that is so chav coded. I hate it. Fuck off, I'm going to cancel the podcast. Like, Mike, what the fuck? Like, please explain yourself for this song.
Right. Oh, God. Right, okay. So, I thought that this song was like the height of banter when I was in school.
You fucking...
To walk around. I used to walk around playing this on, like, my portable speaker, that you'd plug your iPod shuffle into. Thinking, oh, yeah, man, this is class. Like, girls are going to think I'm dead funny and quirky and random.
Of course they will.
Yeah, and I was like...
Oh, had you lost your virginity at this point?
I fuck lost it.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
It became a running joke in my friendship group, this song. It was like, we used to like banter each other in arguments and be like, yeah, shut up, lad, your mother's got a penis.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much.
So we used to quote this song and
I hate
bits.
mum jokes, I just hate them.
But that's the thing, like, that how, whatever you want to say about this song, it is 2000s, like, immature teenage banter culture in a nutshell, isn't it? The whole premise.
Your mum joke, yeah, your mum's gay, your mum's got a God, I'm exhausted. I'm tired.
The whole premise of this song, the entire joke, the beginning, the middle, and the end of the joke is, your mother's got a penis.
Yeah,
your mum.
This chavvy, like, your mum's got a penis, saw her in a shop and she had a big cock.
Well, they're incredibly Welsh for a start.
Are they Welsh? Oh, I don't fucking know. I hate this. I hate this so much.
Goldie Looking Chain were obviously a joke band. I mean, their album was called Straight Out of Newport. I mean,
a joke band, because that would imply they're funny.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was going to come to there, and it was like, is the like, where's the actual punchline other than like your mum's got a cock, your mum's a man, your mum's like, right, okay, like I don't know. It's like that's as far as the nuance stretches. I've got to admit, when I re-listened to this song, I knew it was going to be terrible, but I just laughed at. I did laugh at how stupid it was. Like I just laughed at how like this was just made for people like 15-year-old me. Like it was just immature, annoying little shits, like edgy shits. It was made for me as that at that age. I just cringe so much looking back and listening.
If we were in the same school and you walked past me,
You would have absolutely.
I would have
battered
grabbed
me.
your iPod, and I would have smashed it against the wall. And don't think that I'm being like, I'm exaggerating, because I'll tell you a little story here. When I lived at college, remember when I lived in that
Yeah.
college on campus?
Impressive.
My roommate had the fucking Linkin Park Jay-Z collab EP.
Oh yeah.
And I hated that EP. I hated it with a burning passion. Like I like Linkin Park, and I
Yeah.
really liked Linkin Park back then, but I hated that collab thing. Besides that Numb song, I thought they were all absolute like gash. I hated it, and he would play it night and day on loop, just have that CD on all
Really?
the time. And it got to the point that when he was gone, I took the CD. Me and my mate walked at least a couple of miles out to this bridge with a river, and we flung it into the river. And I was still scared that he would somehow find it, get it out the river, and play it.
Oh,
Like I would have no fear. If something wound me up to that level,
Yeah.
I would go to the extreme. If I was in that playground, I could do, "Your mother's got a penis, do 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 do."
Well,
I
that's
would
the
have
thing.
grabbed that iPod, and it would have been flung. It would have been flung with all my might and all my power.
Well, that's the thing. I think I was at a phase in my life there where I just wanted to see if I could annoy people. I just wanted to be a shit. I just wanted to be a wind-up merchant. You know what I mean? And I was just like,
I love being a wind-up merchant.
Yeah.
I'm still a wind-up merchant to this day.
I
But
look back now and I'm just like, oh god, this song is truly one of the worst memories I have from my former self. That's one of the things that I would just like. I would batter my 15-year-old self if I met him.
This needs to be dug up by the woke brigade, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
I hope this band needs a public execution for this. Like I'm not into the old cancel culture and all that, but this band needs to be put through a guillotine for this song alone.
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? It really is bad.
Like I never liked this band.
No.
Was this the band that did that Guns Don't Kill People?
Yeah. They were just a pure fucking piss take joke.
Absolute hatred for this band. Like despise. This needs eradicating from history. Like
I think there's plenty of people listening to this that won't have heard this song. Just go and listen to it for research purposes.
Just really prepare yourself for it.
Yeah.
It is terrible.
Chav coded is the correct description because they were literally. I don't know whether they were mocking they must have been mocking like the chav culture because they used to dress like that as well, and they used to like.
I just don't know.
They used to wear chains and everything, and it's like they're a lot of white Welsh people.
What angered me about this group the most is I remember the Guns song being played on Kerrang, and I remember flipping my lid.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, why is this on Kerrang? This is chav music. Like,
yeah,
that was awful.
I actually forgot about that.
Yeah, it was very rare. Like it was not often, but it did get played on them channels. It was like, why is this getting put into the rock world? Like, get this away from me. Like,
don't you think it's weird when you look back on Kerrang around that era? And Eminem used to get played on Kerrang as well. Do you remember?
I've got no memory of that.
I remember a couple of Eminem songs getting played on Kerrang. Wasn't it weird that they just picked a handful of like white rappers to play on Kerrang?
Yeah.
And you would never see
that odd crossover every now and again, wasn't there? Like certain things that would cross over. I remember, you'd never get Pendulum and all that. Yeah. Play it download and stuff.
But I mean, they are sort of like at least rock adjacent, aren't they? But like Eminem and Goldie Looking Chain getting played on Kerrang is a bit weird because it's like you wouldn't.
Eminem's in Korn's Got the Life music video, so.
Oh God, know that. But like, what I mean is, like, they would never have picked like Outkast or anything, would they? Or they would never have picked
50 Cent,
NWA or anything, or Dre or whatever. They went for the little skinny white rappers.
Right, so there's this next song blended well into the playlist because it kind of like it really portrayed how I felt. As soon as that sad piano started, I was like, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. So this is Stone Sour. Corey Taylor's band, side project at the Slipknot hype thing. ZZYZ wrote X Road from 2006. I want you to explain this one. Like, why have you picked this one? Because I would just say off the top that I don't think it's a bad song.
Yeah.
But I've got my problems with it.
Yeah. So I agree that this is nowhere near as terrible as any of the other songs on this list, but I picked this song because of what it used to symbolise to me. And what I thought this song was and what this song actually were are just two polar opposite, completely different things. So, like you said, Stone Sour was Corey Taylor's other band. They were a side project that soon became like his main focus. And I really think that he saw this band as his way of bridging that gap and crossing over into the mainstream rock world and becoming the next like Bowie or something. I genuinely think that he thought that. And this song is him trying his best to channel his inner Elton John. For me, it's just so unbearably cheesy, and it's like the last song on the album, and I can imagine it's proper lighters in the air and swaying from side to side on the piano and stuff, and fade away, and like it's just so like you know, like the term butt rock gets thrown about. This is massively butt rock. This song, isn't it? Like,
this is cringe, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Because it's trying to take itself so seriously.
He's trying to channel like Bryan Adams. He's trying to channel like Guns N' Roses, November Rain.
He's
trying to channel like all these great like with November Rain. That's what's the length on that? Like 11 minutes.
Yeah.
I sit down and I pay attention to all 11 minutes of that track.
Yeah.
And like Bryan Adams and that I will love you.
Yeah.
Baby, you know what I mean? Oh, great! It gets the goosebumps up and all that. This is, as you say, this is him trying to channel that.
Yeah,
and like, I remember this song. I remember Stone Sour quite well as the band that people would kind of say that they listened to try and come across as they were like some kind of music intellectual.
Yeah. Well,
I don't really listen to Emil Slipknot that much. I much prefer his other project, Stone Sour. And people who like would be dismissive of Guns, because I was all into the old stuff, mate. People who would like dismiss and poo-poo Guns N' Roses, like, oh, they're yesterday's news, they're yesterday's, that's today's chip paper. That what I mean. Would like listen to this and be like, yeah, this is deep, this is mean, this is a real fucking, this is a amazing song. This, like, I remember like getting exposed to this song and getting this song, and I remember listening to it, going, yeah, I'm in the mood for some feels, I want some feels. I'd be listening to it and I'm like, yeah. I'm home in 3 weeks, and then I remember like it get to a point where you'd be like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. Is this going to end soon?
It feels longer than November Rain somehow.
It just goes on and on and on. And it just gets more bombastic, and he's giving the yeah. Whoa.
Like I said, it's lighters in the air at the gig.
Dang, I want to go. Like giving it all that, and it's like, Cody, mate, you're a bit like,
Yeah. No,
people idolise this man still to this day, and like I always find him a bit.
Yeah, he is a massive cringe lord. Like,
the problem is he's one of them who's like he knows he's good, doesn't he? So like he really kind of like lords it over everyone else. Like, do you remember that period a few years ago when like every article that was coming out of like rock kind of sites were just, Corey Taylor says this about Linkin Park. Corey Taylor says these are shit.
Yeah.
Corey Taylor says this, and it kind of became a meme. And like whenever there was a news article, all the comments were like, "Yeah, but what does Corey Taylor think about it?"
Yeah,
and like Corey Taylor has had some pretty low moments in his career, I'd say. Like he tried to like venture into the whole rap rock thing with his old little solo projects and stuff, and
that's another discussion altogether.
That's another story for another day, isn't it? Really, but for me, this is a bin song. Like it just doesn't need to exist.
But I thought I remember listening to this song, and this album was quite like, it wasn't heavy compared to like Slipknot and stuff like that, but it was quite like, it was a metal album.
It was, yeah. I remember being taken back by that, actually.
Yeah.
I remember wanting to check it out for the more mellow stuff, because I did this song. I did
Through Glass was on there.
Looking at you through the glass. I did that stuff, and like I was a bit like, this is just like bit more Slipknot.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more, nuance to it. Like,
so when this song had come on, I just remember thinking, "Oh, I'm so emotionally deep and mature for listening to this song. I'm so mature because this is like, this is like classic piano.
This
Like,
is also a song subject that has been done to death and really dragged into the ground. The typical laments of touring, you know what I mean? This has really been dragged. Like, there's not a band on earth that hasn't got at least one song that's about the perils of a long tour, you know what I mean?
It comes across ungrateful to me and spoiled. It's just like,
I've always thought that. Like, I can imagine touring to be very taxing
yeah,
and very you're getting taken away from your family, and you're going around the world, but you don't get to spend much time exploring the world. You're going from one arena to the next, and I can imagine. I get that, and that is a subject that you wanna convey in your music, but it's been done to fucking death. Like, I think of Iron Maiden's "Wasted Years," and then later on their "Coming Home" song, and my mind's getting a bit hazy now, but there's many of these kind of like Avenged Sevenfold's fucking they did one, didn't they? Far Away, Nickelback's Far Away. There's just it's really just been like
I agree.
Deep in the ground, like it's been done. It's like move on kind of thing, like
I would definitely bin this song because it doesn't need to be doesn't need to be preserved for any reason, does it? It's just a bit. It's just crap. It's just a bit crap, isn't it?
It is in the bin. Okay, so that's our picks. Anyway, until the last track, I thought I'd throw one last in there one last blade in the back. So this is a pick from Tom. And it is Jesse. We're going into the threshold where we wanted to keep it pre-2009, didn't we? But this is Jesse J's "Do It Like a Dude" from 2011. The only notes I've got on this is audio blackface. That's it. That's all the notes. This is one of the whitest women on planet Earth. Like, she could probably blind you with her paleness.
Sour cream.
Doing the whole black voice. We've got Mandem in the song. We've got the whole "Do it like a brother, do it like a dude."
I hate this song. Like, I fucking despise it. I hated it when it first came out. Hate it even more now. Like, Jessie J, man. Jessie J is a psyop, in my opinion. Or she was a psyop. She was a government agent, and she exists solely to annoy people and create anger and division, because there's no way someone can be this annoying unintentionally. Everything about her, the way she looks, the style, the hair, the voice. Why is there so much unnecessary vibrato in her voice? And like every line I spend with her,
that vibrato so much that
Why is it so chipmunky? The fake accent, the dirty,
like a sucker. Come on, you motherfucker.
What is your vocal style? Like, just stop it. Just stop it. Like, you grate on me so fucking much. I am glad that she just had 5 minutes in the fucking sunlight and then disappeared again.
She did vanish off the face of the earth. So unfortunately, I know too much that anyone should really know about Jessie J. I know that she was a songwriter who was behind the scenes and wrote songs for other artists. And I think she kind of got the hump about it a bit. And she was like, I want to go at it now. So she obviously took all the knowledge, all the experience that she had and projected herself out. I remember she was one of them as well that was always like going on about like, I was bullied as a kid and now I'm a big pop star. And it's like, all right, yeah, okay, fair enough, love, whatever.
Where's the blackface element come from? Why has she decided that this is a good idea? Like,
my theory,
Mandem.
Yeah, my theory behind this was a song that she originally pitched to a black artist. And they were like, nah, I don't really want that song. You're alright, thanks. So she was probably like so proud of it, like, oh, this is a certified banger, this, that she was like, you know what? I'll do it myself. Do it like the Mandem, sugar.
See, surely you'd find someone to feature on the song if you were going to do that. Surely.
It's got all the trappings of an early 2010s pop hit, hasn't it?
It really is trash, this song, and I forgot it existed, so thanks Tom. Thanks for reminding me of this.
Throw it in the bin, throw it in the bin, throw it in the trash.
Set fire to it as well, and then fucking scatter the ashes in the sea.
Controversial here. Jamie's got 2 picks for us. I don't know, Jamie. You did give me some reasoning, and we will get into that. But he's done Guns N' Roses' "Sweet Child of Mine" from 1987. So here's his defence, because I was a bit baffled by this, and I was a bit like, Jamie, please explain yourself, mate, because this is a classic. This is one of the greatest songs of all time. I'm sorry. So this is what he says. Overplayed. Went off Guns N' Roses in a big way when I was about 18. The members seemed like arseholes, especially Axl Rose. I just wasn't able to separate the art from the artist anymore. Also, remember a few years later they played Liverpool and were late on stage. I went to that gig, I remember that. People I knew missed out most of the set because they needed to get the last bus. My dad, he had to do that. Fuck Axl Rose and fuck this overplayed self-indulgent wanker from Jamie. I appreciate your opinion, mate, but I mean, I think that this is coming from an emotionally charged place. Like I said at the top of the episode, like, I'm not gonna go, "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana, because I think as much as I am done with that song and I feel like I've moved on from that song. I would not say it's a bad song.
No,
I understand it. I understand it's revolutionary. I understand its significance, and as a structured song itself, I think it's quite good.
Yeah.
I feel like this is coming from like in a place of emotion. I get the artist and the art.
Yeah.
In this modern time, that's more relatable than ever, isn't it? With no one's slapping on Gary Glitter anymore, are they? I can understand people's problems with the likes of Axl Rose and the whole band themselves, but I say this band is like. This is kind of a song that, like, it's like a gateway song, isn't it? It's like you hear this at a very young age.
Everyone in the world
and this
knows
sets you off, and you're like, I liked it. You hear Spice Girls on the radio, you're like, what's this? What's this gack? Yeah, this, and like, I like it. What's this? This is rock music, and then you explore. Then you go off.
Yeah, I can't for the life of me. Put this song in the same bracket as any of the
other songs that we've got on this list.
We've just discussed Your Mother's Got a Penis by Goldie Looking Chain. Yeah. We've just discussed Fact by Eminem. We've just discussed fucking song about wanting to be a girl and fingering yourself and fucking playing with your tits. I can't put Sweet Child of Mine in the same bin as these songs. It's just, I understand thinking that it's overplayed. And there's plenty of songs that I think are overplayed that I don't really want to seek out ever again. But objectively, looking at this, I've not got anything to say about this because I don't think it's a bad song at all. I just don't. Like, you're free to dislike it for whatever reasons you have, but I can't go in on this song like I have on the other songs on the playlist. That's it. I know it's a bit boring, but can't.
No,
I think it's got a great solo from Slash. I think the solo is brilliant.
Yeah, in the end, here we go.
Just the way
we go now. Wow, wow, where we go.
But it's the way it just climbs up there. It's a great solo. I love it. I still think it's one of the best solos in rock music.
I'm afraid we'll have to strike this one from the record. Then it's neither going in the bin or the cringe museum. I don't know what you'll think about this one though. Blink 182, The Rock Show from 2001.
Yeah.
See, now Blink 182 is an interesting one for me because this is the band that I didn't like growing up, but I like quite a lot now. But to be honest, when I look back and it's like why I didn't like him, it was songs like this. It was like this song and like All the Small Things and that. And I was like, I just don't really have time for this band. But it was when I got onto their 2003 self-titled album that I think it was like, you know what, this band really, like, when they tap into their potential and really, like, turn up and lock in, I think this band's like pretty fucking solid. I really like them. I'll give Jamie's reasoning behind why he's picked this song. He just said he just grew out of it, especially can't stand the voice of the other singer, Tom DeLonge, he's on about. Maybe Damn It is a better example of this. I think with both these picks, Axl Rose, Tom DeLonge, very distinct vocalists.
Yeah.
I can see it to an extent, but what's your thoughts on this song?
This is a song that I would not put in the same bracket as Sweet Child of Mine because I don't think it's like a classic by any means. I don't even think it's one of Blink 182's better singles, to be honest with you. I just think it's...
Oh, yeah, I think it's definitely one of the weaker Blink songs.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's just mid for me, this song. Again, it's nowhere near... I can't, in good conscience, put it in the same category as fucking Jessie J or...
at least it's breezy. It comes and it goes. It's not It's not like ZZYZX YB. LGBTQ plus road.
No.
You know, where it's like it's just going on and on and you're like, oh please end. And even Sweet Child of Mine, like some people could say, all right, this is like, you know, this is a nice meaty song. It goes on for a bit. It comes, it goes. I can't be mad at it.
It's a very sort of basic. It's a bit like AI pop punk. It's just a bit like, this is a pop punk song.
Yeah,
here you go.
Put it in a cringe museum, but it's like one of them features where it's like, you know, the museum's struggling for stuff to you know, when you go in the museum and it's just like a picture of a horse or something, and you're like, okay, well, clearly you needed to fill up that space.
Yeah.
So I'll preserve it in the museum.
That's the thing. Like I neither like or dislike this song.
Yeah,
it's just there.
Pretty neutral on it.
Yeah.
So then this is another one of Tom's picks. We're all a bit all over the shop now, but we're heading towards the finish line here. So we've got Ed Sheeran's UNI from 2010. I think you dislike this song more than me. So
this guy does my head in, you know.
Oh, he does my head in as well.
He does my head. I hate it when he starts doing the little rapping bits, or like is it rapping or is it just fast singing? But he thinks it's like the coolest thing ever, doesn't he? He definitely thinks it's like so impressive. Like, look at me, I'm strumming my guitar, but I'm also rapping. Like, how good am I? How talented am I? And it's just like, fuck off in your little posh boy accent. Shut up. Just talking about uni as well. It's like he knew his target audience, this man, and he targeted and he homed in on that target audience, and he went, I am going to extract all your money from your back pocket and put it in mine. And he fucking did it, to be fair to him, didn't he? Yeah, he definitely did it. I think this song is terrible. Like, this is the first time I'd heard it, and it will be the last.
Alright, so here's my notes on it. I've got to give an honest take here. I thought I'd hate it a lot more than I did. It's a pleasant, cheesy, poppy number with the folky sing-song acoustic music Sheeran is known for. Besides the cringe rapping parts, this song's a lot less obnoxious than his current works, I have to say. And there's like a nice deep groove into it, complementing the guitar a little bit. If anything, this just kind of shows how badly he sold himself out to get. Well, you kind of said this song itself is a song.
I think he's
got a lot worse than this. I think things got a lot worse. I think this is the type of music. Like, me and you have both got partners, and would you say that both of our partners are probably not the most musically inclined people? If you you having like a little romantic night in, you know, you like a lot of these songs we've delved into the sexuality of the world and sex in the world. Like, you know, and the song after this, actually, I would like you know, a nice romantic night, your missus, all that, you know. This is the type of music you'd probably put on in the background to please Ed, innit? You know what I mean? On a bit of Ed Sheeran, love. Oh yeah, like put the uni one on, please. And that. And then you start having a nice little kiss, nice little boob touch, all lovely, nice, soft. Get you in, you know what I mean?
What I would say about this song, this sort of music and Ed Sheeran in general is music for people that don't like music.
Yeah,
that's what I'd describe Ed Sheeran as, personally, including his first album. I don't get when people come at me and say, well, his first album was good and then he just went crap. It's like, no, his first album
like I've said.
It's like, no, his first album was terrible.
This is music for people that think mayonnaise is too spicy.
Yeah.
This is music for people that go to Nando's and have plain or Penny-Tainment on their chicken.
It really is. It really is.
Which is ironic, really, because he's got his own brand of hot sauce at the moment, and which I bet is fucking mild as fuck.
Bet that's the plainest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when I went on school bus, everybody hold it.
I just don't like the guy. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't. Unfortunately, I've been no further than a couple of meters away from him at one point when he walked past me when we went to the gig to see him. Right. This is Jenny, listener of the show, someone who I've communicated with via social medias only, and she's picked the Thong song by, what's it? I can't even pronounce it. Cisco from 1999. There was true fear in my heart when this song got suggested.
Yeah.
I really didn't know what I was in for. However, maybe it's the fact that we've just heard some absolute filth on this playlist. But I found the song to be a lot more reserved than I expected.
Yeah.
Especially when I searched it and a playlist titled Slutty Songs for Hoes came up. with the peach emoji and the water drips emoji. Which, to be fair, when I actually looked on that playlist, it was tame as fuck. Like, there was no filth on that playlist. Like, music for hoes, music for girls that think mayonnaise is spicy, maybe. It's got all the trappings of a song of this caliber. Thong, 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 ass shaking the lot. It's the shit I find more distracting than a mood setter, to be honest. Like, as you say, going back to that, you're trying to get the romantic mood on. I would not put a song like this on, to be honest, because it's just distracting and a bit like, oh, this is fucking weird.
Did you not remember this song from back in the day?
I don't know. Really? I honestly have no memory of it, but like, to be fair, it's music like this I go out my way to avoid. Like, if this comes on at the radio, no, switch that off.
This is very.
Puts this on. No, turn that off. Not listening to that.
This is very of its time, isn't it? Like, it sounds so. You can pinpoint the exact time period that this came out just by listening to it. It's like silly novelty meme R&B from the early 2000s, and this style died out by the mid 2000s. The chorus melody is super annoying, isn't it? The sort of melody that gets stuck in your head, but for all the wrong reasons, and you just like, it burrows its way into your skull, doesn't it? And it's like, I need to listen to something else now to get this out my fucking system. It's not a good song at all. It's really not.
Bin.
Yeah.
Where did Ed Sheeran go? Did he go in the bin, or is he's not welcome in the cringe museum?
Bin. Bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, so to be honest, as I say, I think it's like, at this point, because we've had I Wish I Was a Girl, because we've had Fuck, because we've had Your Mother's Got a Penis, this to me is milquetoast. This is nothing like, a thong in comparison to, just some of the lyrics and content we've been exposed to, and like, at this point it's like, a bit of bum shaking. Okay, very, very, very very safe.
Yeah, very tame, yeah.
But then after hearing this song, I was like, I'm gonna have to add one more on this. I'm really just gonna have to drive it. This is probably the most filthiest fucking, oh god, like, we've really gotten into some stuff on this episode, and I don't think we ever will again. So let's celebrate the moment with a song by Peaches called Fuck the Pain Away from 2002. This was a fucking house gathering, house party classic. This was like, this is when things were getting turned up. This was so basically, if anyone hasn't ever heard this song, it's just like, it's really badly produced, and it's got this horrible, like, awful. What is it? Is it the cymbals? Like,
how loud is the cymbal? I made a note about
that. And it just, the song pretty much opens with, sucking on my titties like you wanna me, calling me all the time.
This might be the worst song on this list. This might be the worst. It might be as bad as Fuck, genuinely.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
Like, it's
Fuck the pain away.
Fuck
the pain away.
It's barely even a song. It's not got a melody to speak of at all, has it? The drums that you mentioned, then they sound like absolute ass. Only why is that cymbal so loud in the chorus? And it goes on for the entire chorus. What an absolute mess. I had no memory of this song ever existing.
I've heard it quite a bit, to be fair.
You genuinely, if anyone put this on at a house party I was at, I'd be like, you are a fucking weirdo. Like, even more of a weirdo than me walking around with Your Mother's Got a Penis blaring out of me fucking speakers.
I'd be the one. I'd be like, go and put the Suck Your Tits song on.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, what Peaches, yeah.
See, that's, oh no, that's... Honestly, I was unaware of its existence, and my life was better then. I wish I could go back to a time when I was unaware again of this song's existence. Oh man, what made you rediscover this?
It was the slutty songs for hoes playlist. Because I was looking through the songs. This wasn't actually on the playlist. I was looking at the songs. Like, that song is like my neck, my back, my pussy, and my crack.
Yeah.
And that made me remember this one. Like, I remember that song. It's like, sucking on my titties like you wanna be on me all the time. I was like, oh, that fucking song, the Suck Tits song, like, fucking hell, brings me back to fucking alcohol fueled. Oh, fucking hell.
God.
Great.
I have to confine this song to the bin.
Yeah, in the bin. There's no place in the museum for this smut.
No.
This filth.
Another song that made me feel dirty and unclean.
Yeah, after listening to this playlist, it will be linked in the description of this episode. You probably you're in either one or two minds. Either this stuff gets you going a bit, and you need to go and or you just need a nice cold shower.
Yeah.
I would lean more towards the cold shower, to be honest.
I'd lean all the way over that one, yeah.
So I think all in all, we did a great job of finding some of the worst music on the planet.
Yeah.
This was this was a rare occasion where we got to talk about the Pussycat Dolls, Violent Delight. That name's probably not been mentioned in over a decade, so maybe it'll get them a bit of notoriety again. Maybe I'm sure after this, because I've had to listen to this playlist a few times, I'm sure the Goldie Looking Change stats are looking like, look, yeah, we've had a 300% increase in streams since last week. But yeah, closing thoughts. We tortured ourselves for your amusement, and there was some amusement had from ourselves, but there was also some incredible frustration.
Some memories
that came out of this playlist.
Some memories unlocked that I wish would have stayed in the memory bank.
So, what would you say was the worst song of this playlist? The absolute worst. If you have to pick a contender, a winner for the absolute worst gets the crown. Who is it?
Fact.
It's got to be Goldie Looking Chain for me.
Yeah,
that song is abysmal.
Do you know what? I get that totally. Like, I wouldn't argue with that pick. Yeah.
Excluding Sweet Child of Mine, which song would you redeem and take out of this playlist?
I think that Man-Eater's been done over a bit dirty, to be honest.
I'd agree. I just wanted to get that story,
to
be honest.
So I'd probably say Man-Eater is the least offensive, aside from Rock Show and Sweet Child of Mine, which I don't think should be on the playlist. I'd say Man-Eater is the one that I would save if all of these songs were drowning. This is the one. And I had one space on my life raft left. That's the one song that I would save.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think we can move on and live our lives now. So this has been the Johns. You know what? I am so glad that I don't have to hear some of these songs ever again in my life now. Like I do feel like a weight's been lifted. Like I will never have to listen to Your Mother's Got a Penis ever again. And if anyone walks past me with it on the speakers, there will be violence. So this has been the John's Jam Sessions podcast. Thank you for listening. This is quite a long one, but I do like doing a long one every now and again. Please follow us on the socials. Please go on the YouTube. Please check out the TikTok. Check out Mike, Music Mike on TikTok. You're fairly active on there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Please rate this 5 stars. If you've got any suggestions, if you want us to do a round 2, come back to this with your suggestions. Please throw them our way. We'll see you next time. Enjoy. Suck some tits.
Yeah.
Rub some clits.
Shove a gerbil in your ass through a
tube. Shove a gerbil in your ass through a tube. And come. We're gonna fade to black.